Hey everyone, welcome back to Apocalyptic Guitars. Yes. So this is what we did so far. Now, I have put some fretboard restorative on the fretboard to give it some life, to moisturize it. The fretboard, of course, isn't done yet, but yeah, it just gave the fretboard life. It just makes it look fucking awesome. So also, what we did was we sanded the neck down so it's nice and flat, and oh god, it's really nice now. Very comfortable, not too thick. Like I said, it's about the equivalent of an Ibanez or thereabouts. But yeah, we're not done yet though, folks. We still have more fine sanding to do on it. And I'm going to do something a little different with this volute here. I might carve it in a little more, and then it points up like a mountain for, just for added comfort. But yeah, we basically have the neck in place. Then what I did was I placed the pickup cavities of where they're going to be lined up and ready to go. So we're going to route these out. I don't know if we're going to route these out today, but we'll get there. What I also did was I drew out where I'm going to carve around the body. And, we're going to take it down so it's nice and curved. Again, for comfort. I got a place where the knobs are going to be, the knobs and the three-way switch. So we're going to do that probably next, because I need to do that before I figure out where this part of the carve is, because I don't want to go too deep in and then have the knob tilt. I don't like that, so we got to figure that out next. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to start working on the body now. Finally. And then the neck we can deal with at a later time, because that's the essentials of the neck are done. We don't need to play around with it anymore. We got what we need for the neck. But now we're going to work on the body. So, yeah. Here we go. Stay tuned. Alright, folks, so we're back here. So now we got to figure out where the knobs are going to go and the three-way switch. So the volume goes about in between the bridge pickup and the start of the bridge. So right in between. So about right there. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to get some knobs that I have just laying around. And of course, if I can find them. Where are you? Of course, these aren't going to be the knobs that I actually put on the guitar, but alright. We'll do this here. These aren't the actual knobs that I'm going to put on it, but they'll give me a reference of where we want. So the bridge, let's just say the bridge goes about right there, right? We need room for the surround, so about right there, right? So okay. So now we got to figure out. So it wants to go right between. So I'm thinking right there. And then the three-way switch will go right. About right there, I want to say. What we'll do is. Here, I have some of these. basically have the ends of the switch. So basically we want a little curve that goes like that. So I think that's good. How does that look? Basically that's really where I want to be. The jack will go out there, so a little bit like that. Yeah, I think that's where we want to be. Yep. So that's about even. So basically what we want is to mark that out. So basically right there. Make a little mark, and then we come over here, make a little mark, and then mark that out. So what we have basically is something like that. Middle. Yep. So we marked out where we want our controls and all that goodness. So now we just have to actually drill them out. Now, we're not going to actually drill them to size yet. Basically what we want to do is just give maybe a 2 mil hole. About that, 2 mil hole. And that gives us an idea, really, of where we're going to go. So, maybe not even a 2 mil hole. So, it gets dusty in here, folks. So we're going to grab a drill bit. That's about the size we want, about 2 mil. Now we're not going to drill all the way through, just maybe 4 mil down. That's all we're going to do, 4 mil. So just put it down there. There we go. Alright, so we marked out now where our knobs are going to go. Now you want to double check this. Always check it. This is another reason why we went with a small drill bit, because we can always move it now if we feel like it. So you don't really want to go all the way with it just yet. Just enough to give you an idea of where you want to be. There we go. So our cavity is going to go out right to that line. Just right to the line. That'll give enough room for the switch and everything. So basically, yeah, we have the drill, the markings, if you will. We're going to bring this out just a little bit more there. There we go. About right there. So we got that done. So now we can focus on the carve. So basically what we have, yeah, that should be good. Alright. Yeah, we're good. Okay. So now we can focus on the carve. Now, I don't know if I want to actually. I might make my own knobs. These are some knobs that I made myself, basically. I might make my own knobs out of mahogany, so it matches everything over here, and then do because what I'm gonna do is I'm doing gold and black hardware. I'm gonna mix it up. The bridge is gonna be gold with black grub screws. And so I'm thinking the switch is going to be gold with a black knob on top. I'm going to do gold pickups, I think. I might do gold pickups, or I might just do regular standard humbuckers. I don't know yet. But I am going to do gold strap buttons. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna make my own knobs out of mahogany and use those. I think that'll look really cool. So yeah, basically that's our task now, and we need to carve. Carving is fun. Carving is fun, they say. All right, here we go. Alright guys, let's do some carving. Alright, that's one side carved out, and what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna round these off, the hard edges here. We're gonna round it so it's nice and uniform. So now let's tackle the other side. See, now is actually the time where you want to use a clamping call for the things, because basically now it's the point of no return. So you really got to be careful of how you clamp, where you clamp. So I would use a clamping call at this point. Basically, yeah, this is the point. This is really the point of no return. So you really got to be careful. So you should really use a mask when using this. I can't find my mask, so I'm not using one right now, but you should always wear a mask when dealing with dust. Please, don't worry about what I'm doing. It's my own fault. Here we go. Alright, so basically we have our carve. Now, the horns, we're going to do now, actually. Yeah, that's really gonna look nice. really gonna look nice. And we want to make sure that it's not gonna affect the pickup surrounds at all, actually. So we're good on that front. So now we're gonna actually do the horns, or the inner horns rather. This one you gotta be really careful of also, because one slip here you're really gonna notice. So be very careful with the horns. Now, I don't like to go crazy right now on the horns. I just like to take off a little bit, and then you can go back in with a sander later. So that's one horn done. Now, as you see, I didn't go crazy. Stop. I didn't go crazy, but we're going to come in later with the sander and then, make it nice and, nice and good. And then we're going to round off this. See the hard edge going around here? We're actually going to round that off so it's a nice round look. So, pretty much. And these hard edges, you see how they're kind of rough? Once we go in and sand it and round it off, you're not going to notice them at all. It's going to be like a whole different thing, so we don't have to worry about that. So now let's go to the second horn. So basically we got the carve in the front, the top of the body all set. Now what we would do is we would go with a sander now. And, I'm going to give you an example of that right now. So what we want is about an 80 grit to start off with. We want about 80 grits to start with. That way we can, this is also a carving tool, basically. Now's the time to use a clamping coil because it's the point of no return. When dealing with a higher or lower grit like this, once you take it off of the work, you got to stop it and then put it on and restart, because you'll eat up. If you have it running still and you take it off and put it back on, it's going to eat a chunk out of it. That's what like 80 grit or below, so just remember that. So basically we're taking off just a little bit here. So I know what you're saying, folks. You're saying, Nate, you just did the total opposite of what you said not to do by taking the sander, the sanding disc basically off and then stopping it and putting it back on. Yes, I did do that. That was because I was controlling how much to take off for the hard edges. And while it's still running, you can do that. Although it's not advised for someone who's just starting off building guitars, but it does work that way. So, yes, I did do that, but yes, I am a professional. So, I sort of know what I'm doing. So, yeah. Anyway, let's go. We're good. Alright, so we basically rough sanded it. We basically used that as a carving tool, if you will. instead of a fine sander. But yeah. Alright, we'll show you what I did. Alright, so basically, this is what we did. We made it so there's a nice curve right here. I don't know if you can really see that, but there's a curve going around. And we did that throughout the whole body, even on this side. So it's roughly carved. What we then need to do is go in with a higher grit, keep going up higher grits of sandpaper to smoothen it out and to make it for the final finish. Now, I didn't go on the top and sand the top yet because we still need these, well, we still need the center line right here. So that's why I didn't sand the top yet. We'll get to that later. But yeah, basically we have a curved, nice curved body for comfort. Later on we'll do the back. We'll do the back carves, but we want to save that for later because we still have to route out the back cavity, the control cavity down there, and you want a flat surface when doing that, when routing. So we're going to save that for later. But yeah, basically we carved the body. So on the next episode, we are going to drill out and route out the pickup cavities. And we might even do the back cavity as well for the control wiring and stuff like that. Then after that, it's a matter of fine sanding what we did. We still need the center line for the bridge, so again, we're going to save that probably for the last thing we do, is to sand the top off. So it's nice and smooth, if you will, for the final finish. But yeah, that's it, folks. Stay tuned for the next episode, and we'll get it going. So this is Nate, Apocalyptic Guitars. Have a good one.